Hello everyone, and welcome back to Willow Creek, and today we are finally going to be addressing the waste problem in the city. And the way we're going to do that is by building this industrial area here. So to start off, we just need to build the main highway that goes through the area and make that roughly what Google says it looks like, because this build can't be 100% accurate, but we're going to try to do the best we can. Then we're going to build out this temporary guideline just so that we know how far out we need to go, which is roughly 2.3 kilometers. And once we do some adjustments here, we'll get something that looks roughly like the original. And now we're going to be building the first intersection for this area, and it is a jug handle trumpet. As usual, we're just going to make a super node so that we don't have two strange intersections. We can just get rid of this roundabout and then just fix the intersection and move it. There's also a 2-lane right turn here which requires a traffic light, so we're going to add that, and then we also need to make the loop. And then we have to fix the lane math and then add in the other exit coming into the trumpet. And if the game will let me, I will make this look good. There we go. And now we're just going to fix some of this stuff in traffic. Now we're just going to build this road out, and I have the intersection intervals measured out. You just can't see it on camera. And so we're just going to build those as far out as they are straight before they turn or do whatever else they do. And the main reason we're doing this is so that we can get the roads to this intersection, which is sort of a park load jug handle. And the reason it looks like this is because it splits into two one-ways, as you can see here, and there are some movements that need to be facilitated that would not make sense with the way the roads would be laid out if it was just a normal two-intersection setup. And again, we're just going to be doing some super nodes and then connecting the highways up. Why do you do this to me? Why have you chosen suffering? Okay, well, how about I get rid of the roundabouts? How's that? No? What do you want from me? Why are you like this? Come on, game. I believe in you. Actually, no, I don't, but whatever. Just work. That took way too long. Now we're just gonna have some road stubs coming off the highway here. Except also we need the road stubs to make sense. And we're just going to get rid of the original road because it didn't make sense. And now we're just going to be building this loop and this exit. And also moving the stubs because they are still wildly inaccurate. And now we're going to try to build the bigger loop over here. And that looks horrendous. Okay. Also, we're just going to reattempt that stub because it still was weird. There we go. It's much better. And now we're just going to be fixing these intersections in traffic. Alright, now we're just going to lay out the rest of the grid in this area, like a really basic outline of it. And again, I have the intervals for the roads laid out here, and we need to fix that. Okay, yep, thanks, game. And so we're just going to be replicating that to the best of our abilities. Of course, I can't ensure that the angles are all the same. At least I haven't found a way to do that, so we're not going to worry about that too much. Now we're going to be building yet another major road that connects into the highway, and that is going to be our third and final jug handle intersection here. Yet again, we are going to be making a supernode, and just following the same process that we have for the other two intersections. We have an exit over here, and also that is not a smart left turn. We also need to add some turning lanes onto the highway. And then our loop here. Now this loop may not make sense, but there are some railroad tracks in reality, so we needed that loop. And now we're just going to extend this road out here. Need to make some adjustments, and then now we're going to be building some of the road layout. The other road sort of stops as a stub, but this one does a sort of squiggly, zigzaggy thing, so we're going to be replicating that. And then there's some parking over here, so we're going to have to add that in too. Now we're going to build this road, which goes pretty far out, and then it turns and then intersects with multiple other roads. We also need to fix the landscaping because it looks strange, and then extend this road out here, which just ends at the tip of the peninsula. There's some alleyways that come out here. There's a railroad crossing, which you're going to see me build later in the video. That is the reason for this 5-point intersection that's going to exist here. This road here is just going to cut through and connect up to the road at the edge of the peninsula up here. Now this is going to be where we're actually going to build our incinerator plant. There's actually a power plant of some sort here, but we're just going to be using an incinerator plant instead. Besides, that is the main purpose for this area existing. Over here, there's like a sort of grid with some industrial buildings within it, so we're just going to be trying to build that without strange angles. And then we're going to be connecting some roads down here. There's also an alleyway that goes out here near a rail yard, and then it just sort of ends on the highway over here. And we just need to adjust this road. Alright, there's a little inlet over here. here, which is mostly warehouses, I believe. Although it'll help if the road layout is actually accurate. And I decided that we're just going to get rid of this inlet up here because it doesn't really matter as much. And while we're at it, we just might as well connect up the 3 highways. Again, we're going to be doing a super node, and this is just going to be a normal T intersection, which makes a lot more sense for this area than the massive interchange that we had before that comes default with the map. And actually, we might as well, shut up game. We might as well build the incinerator plant. And we need to connect that up to power. And also maybe give the industrial area water. Alright, now we're actually going to cheat. We haven't unlocked the switch on yet, but we're going to place it just because that's what it looks like on Google Earth. And then down here, we're just going to add in some storage tanks and zone in a ton of industrial. Here, there's a retaining pond, which we're just going to work on later. We just need to have like a rough outline of it so we know what not, like where not to put stuff. And it's just going to be more storage tanks and industrial zoning. Now we're actually going to adjust taxes so that people actually want to build industrial in this area. And now we're going to be building this area, which was abandoned until 2023, it looks like, but my Google Earth defaulted to the 2022 image, so that's what we're going off of here. Besides, it looks a little more interesting with the abandoned area instead of like an organized construction site, so I'm just going to go with that instead. So we're going to add in the surfaces here, and we're just going to forget about surface hierarchy. It's probably fine anyway. Then we're going to zone in some industrial. If the game's crazy zoning will cooperate with me, thank you, game. And finish all the surfaces over here. Also going to add surfaces here, and it's just going to be more storage tanks, industrial. There's also a rail line that we're going to build through here, which we're going to work on the Railyard for this later. Currently, it's just to give us an idea of where not to build stuff. Then we're going to fill this in with industrial. I'm also going to build this grid out here. Here there's a warehouse, so we're just going to add that in, and then also the surfaces and parking for it. There's also rebel pilots that we're going to add in. Also, we're going to sprinkle some trees over here, and actually probably add in this road that I forgot existed. That's an idea. And more parking. Now we're just going to finish off all the piles of rubble throughout this area. And then we're going to add some surfaces at the edge of this abandoned part. And then we'll do some more further out. Then we're going to just zone in a whole ton of industrial. And storage tanks, except under the power lines. I don't know why I did that. These kind of need clearance. And we're going to extend the rail line out to that warehouse where it sort of just ends. And actually maybe connect it to the rail line. And there's a grid here that we're going to build out. Going to zone in a whole ton of industrial. And then we're actually going to finish the retaining pond since this area is mostly done. And all we really need to do is just add quay walls so that it's more defined. Now we're actually going to move on to the rail yard. So first there's a bridge that crosses the highway and goes through a residential area that we're not going to be building. Not sure what we're going to put there yet, but it'll be something interesting hopefully. And then it ends in these sort of stubs where trains would wait when they're waiting to pick up cargo or unloading cargo. Oh, that is a horribly broken node. We should probably fix that. Now we're going to add that train track there. And now you can see where the loop is necessary, because if trucks were waiting for a train to pass, and the trains are going to go slow here because of the curves and all the other trains waiting, they would probably back onto the highway, and so the loop allows them to get back on the highway and just wait there until the train passes. We're also going to finish all the steps over here. And then we're going to finish this area for now and just add in surfaces. We're going to get rid of the trees and stuff later on. Now that we're done with that, we're just going to add in some more storage tanks and some industrial zoning. Also going to finish off the surface here. And more industrial. Might as well finish other surfaces while we're at it. And zone in industrial, because of course we will. Again, I forgot surface hierarchy existed, so that's fun. Now there's a warehouse, and then this really big pile of materials of some sort. So we're just going to build that. Now we're going to build this shopping plaza over here. There's a road that kind of goes out to the highway. Also, there are going to be some buildings over here. This road just kind of ends over here behind the Walmart. We should probably make the parking lot. Unfortunately, we have no buildings fit for a Walmart, so we're just going to have these zoned buildings in Harbor Parks. We're going to add in some more buildings, and of course we're going to add more parking. I've spared you the process of all the detailing in it, so there you go. And now we are going to add some more surfaces all over the place. More storage tanks until we go broke again. And also finish some of the surfaces in the abandoned area. Going to add more surfaces all over the place as well. We're just going to add in this perimeter road here and fix this weird blob that I created. And just more surfaces and industrial zoning. So a warehouse here, so we're just going to destroy that and build the area accurately. There's another warehouse here and a few over here. So we're going to build those and add in the surfaces for them. There's also this area with a whole ton of storage containers, so we're going to have those. And there's some material storage. Just going to move that building over and fix this surface, where again, I forgot that surface hierarchy existed. Actually, should probably fix this. There's a retaining pond of some sort over here that we're going to build. There's also some trees in the pond. finish off some of the surfaces over here as well. We're going to add an oil refinery. Normally there's just like some big industrial building. And again, we haven't unlocked the oil refinery, so we're just cheating constantly this episode, but looks realistic, so it's fine. More parking. Also a small industrial building and more storage containers, because why not? Also some dirt roads over here. We're going to add in the surface here, fix that building. We're going to add the surfaces for this corner here. Except actually this looks hideous. Let's, no. Much better. And of course, more storage containers. We're just going to have some more gravel drive lanes over here. We're going to add in some tanks and rubble piles / material storage in this corner. And actually, why not add the surface here after we forgot to for so long? We're going to add the trees in the loop and also a small commercial building with, of course, ample parking. Actually, maybe don't have a railroad crossing where it's not necessary. And also make that angle make sense. And the buildings want power and water, but I don't really care because I'm adding trees. I don't care what those people want. There's also a warehouse here, so we're going to add that. And also the associated surfaces. Here we're just going to make more surfaces around switch on, and also a water retention pond over here with some trees in it. Maybe fix this area, because I somehow forgot to do that. Now I'm going to be building this warehouse area here with a whole ton of storage containers. Unfortunately, there are no buildings large enough, not even these warehouses that I'm building here for this area, so we're just adding a bunch of big buildings and also the surfaces. There's another warehouse here. And more storage containers without end. Of course, more gravel drive lanes. And also there are some warehouses over here. Should have the surface for this. Maybe get rid of trees growing through the concrete, except in the interchange. And that is a terrible node. The rail line goes through here and kind of ends the stub. I assume that the rail line over by the shopping plaza used to go somewhere, otherwise this stub is like, not inaccessible, but it's like really weird to get to. This is probably something historical. Besides, you'll see in a moment, it doesn't look like it's been used in years. Now we're going to add just the perimeter key wall around the industrial area. work spectacularly. Wow, okay. Have a hole. Go in the hole. No? Fine. I'm just gonna cover you then. And then just build the storage tanks. Except we're broke, so that part's industrial now. We're gonna add a district around this, and we're gonna name it what the actual industrial area is called, and that is Constable Hook. I just realized that I forgot to build the other exit over here somehow, so we're gonna have to build that. And also the concrete in between the highway. And with that, we are finally done. Now you can see some screenshots of what we've done today. Also, here's what the area looked like before. And here's what it looks like now. And here's the Google Earth photo for reference. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. Please let me know how you feel about this in the comments, because I don't want to torment you all with half-hour videos that you hate. So please just let me know anything you have an issue with. Please consider liking and subscribing. This is by far the longest I've ever spent on a video, far longer than intended. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.